Hello everybody! It's me, the Anonymous Mystery, your local nocturnal detective. And Mona, my trusty crime-finding dog. Tonight is sometime within the first week of October, which means that Spooktober's 7th annual visual novel jam is underway. This game jam is an annual event where creators make short Halloween-themed visual novels during the month of September that are then judged in October. This month, I plan on checking out as many of these submissions as I can, starting with our case tonight. And tonight's case is... Rusted Iron Horse by Regular Dale. The description is as follows. 8 foolish travelers board a tiny isolated train. Unbeknownst to them, all they will find is pain. One of them is secretly a serial killer who goes by the alias the Candyman. What was supposed to be a slow, relaxing Halloween train ride turns into a classic whodunit murder mystery. It is your duty as the train's conductor to either catch this murderer or stop the train before the Candyman kills everyone on board. Relevant trigger warnings are listed here. With everything having been outlined, let's dig right in. This has got to be the smallest train in the world. 1 front cabin, 1 passenger cart. It's a miracle that something like this would be allowed to grace our wonderful European tracks. You'd think trains would be some sort of grand bus that takes you across the country in style. This may be true for the bigger coaches, but ours is downright pathetic. I hate how it's restricted to one tedious long-distance circuit. I hate the annoying chugs our outdated wheels make. I even hate the view. It's easily the most boring part of Europe. Why couldn't we have been stationed in the countryside? Oh wait, that makes too much sense. Ryder. Like, we barely hit double-digit passengers per station. Would it kill upper management to relocate us to a local branch? Ryder. I'd love to work at a small countryside station. At least being bored there gives you a second to admire the beautiful scenery. What does being bored in the city give you? A whole bunch of similar looking buildings and a web of electrical wires. There's no sense of beauty in that. It's just snobbish modernism. Ryder! My mind snaps back to reality as my partner yells my name and snaps her fingers in front of my face. Finally, I thought you were going to never wake up. Sorry, Elfried. I got distracted again. She sighs at me. When aren't you distracted? Come on, Ryder. We're almost at the first station. We've got a long day ahead of us. First station before another few hours of static movement. How do you do it, Elfried? I could never drive this big thing for hours on end. Well, I did drink 5 cups of coffee before clocking in. That's probably what's helping me out. 5? Where do you even put them all? Elfried giggles at my perplexity. Woman's secret. I'm surprised you don't do something similar. I'd need to drink 10 cups if I had to be the conductor. Caffeine would make my judgments too sharp. I'd probably check the same guy for tickets over and over again. Feels like you do that anyway. Drink some coffee, Ryder. Who knows, it might make you hate this train a little less. No way, I'm not giving you another reason to tease me. Me? Tease you? I would never. Sarcasm is unbecoming of you, Elfried. A gentle knock graces our ears. There's only one person it could be at this time of day. Come in, Godric. The door that connects the front of the train to the passenger cart slides open. Godric calmly walks inside. Good morning to you too, Ryder. I'm here to inform you that the train is perfectly clean for today's trip. Excellent. Thank you for your hard work. You're welcome. Any last-minute requests? Not at all. Today's going to be another slow, boring day. Perfect.
just the way I like it.
That's only because I get to boss you around less.
Partially. I most certainly enjoy your amusing remarks, Ryder.
Well, in that case, I'm going to bother you more than usual. Godric lets out a genuine hearty chuckle.
Splendid. That'll make my last day even more enjoyable.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Godric's retiring after today. It's about time. He's been creeping up in ages over the years. Still, despite being a sarcastic old lout, he's a good guy. I'll miss him. Just make sure you end on a high note, please.
Of course, conductor, of course.
I take it back. He's worse than Elfried. Anyways, I'm going to pull him to the station now. You ready, Ryder? Yep, arm the brakes. Brakes are armed, conductor. I exit the front cart of the train with a smirk on my face. Up next is my favorite part of the day. Excitement builds in my core like a child waking up on Christmas morning. The doors in the passenger cart open up wide, welcoming my exit with open arms. I hold onto the safety bar right next to it and lean outside of the door. All aboard! My lungs heave gallons of air to make my speech sound as confident as possible. Even if no one in the station cares about this gesture, I don't mind at all. This gesture is what makes me the conductor of this small, shabby train. It symbolizes my pride to get what few passengers we can harvest to their destinations in time. If a conductor isn't confident, then why should passengers place their faith in him? Could you confidently board a train with a weak-mannered man at the helm? Absolutely not. Thanks to Elfried's expert braking, the train parks itself in the perfect spot, not too far forward and not too far back. As I expected, there are hardly any passengers sitting down in the station, only 5 in total. Regardless, these are the 5 who have placed their faith in me. It's good manners to wish them a good morning. I step off the train. The first passenger is a shabby-looking man. Morning! Good morning. He gets on the train with ease. On to the second passenger. Here we have a slightly better dressed, but still shabby-looking man. Morning. Good morning to you too. This one's certainly lively. He doesn't need any help to board the train either. Let's see what the third and fourth passengers are like. An alien? Good morning! Oh, good morning, young lady. Thank you for being so polite. You're welcome. She happily looks over to the woman next to her. Did you hear that, Mama? That's so funny. Oh my gosh, you know children are always wearing whatever. They put on whatever to leave the house, and if they're like young and screaming, the parents just end up being like, whatever, go ahead, wear the alien costume. Did you hear that, Mama? The nice man called me polite. I sure did. You're a good girl for not forgetting your manners. The mother pats her child on the head through her alien costume. Yay, Mama called me a good girl. She does a happy little jig. And good morning to you too, ma'am. We hope you enjoyed traveling with us today. Good morning, sir. We will enjoy ourselves. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Come on, Dina. Let's go take our seats. Okay. The mother and child enter the train with little difficulty. I'm surprised they managed to fit the alien costume through the door. I have a warming, fuzzy feeling in my chest. Today may be boring, but at least it has its bright moments. And here's our last passenger. Morning. Yeah. He gets on without so much as returning the greeting. Jerk. Whatever. I mustn't let snobby passengers like him get me down. I have a train to run, damn it. Once I'm positive there aren't any passengers remaining, I hop back onto the train and go back to Elfried. Alright, Elfried. Everyone's on board. Let's get the show on the road. Perfect! Hold tight, boys! She stretches her fingers like a sci-fi movie hacker and grips the controls like she's on a roller coaster. Elfried flips a switch to shut the doors and begins to slowly accelerate the train. With precision like a surgeon, we smoothly make course towards the next station, which just so happens to be 4 hours away. Gotta love long-distance travel. I mindlessly stare out the window, glancing occasionally at my pocket watch. Usually, we need to wait a few minutes before checking the passengers' tickets. This gives them time to get comfy before I get too up in their business. Eventually, it's time to get one of my very few duties out of the way. I walk out of the front cabin and into the passenger's cart. Let's see here. Before I even get a moment to decide my plan of attack, I hear that Dina girl let out an excited scream.
Mama, Mama, it's Halloween, it's Halloween.
Yes, love, I'm very much aware.
Do you know what that means? Trick-or-treating and candy.
Yes, love, yes it does. Please save your energy for the festivities. I'd hate for our trip to have been a waste. Oh, she looks annoyed.
A waste? Oh no, that sounds bad, bad, bad.
That's because it is bad, bad, bad. You'll miss out on so much candy if you're too noisy.
No, I don't want that. I want lots and lots of candy, Mama.
Only good girls get lots and lots of candy. Good girls are the ones who wait patiently on the train. Do you understand?
Okay, Mama, I'll be patient.
Now, there's Mama's good girl.
Yay!
Hello again. I make my casual entrance into their conversation. These tickets aren't going to check themselves. Ah, hello again.
Hey, mister.
Gina takes out a jack-o'-lantern bucket from underneath her seat and holds it up to me.
Would you like to play trick-or-treat? If you say trick-or-treat, then you get one of my chocolate bars.
It's like reverse trick-or-treating. Oh, do I now? You don't have to play along with her. Don't worry about it. It's no trouble for me, ma'am. I clear my throat, put on my most excited voice possible. Trick or treat!
Yay! Thank you, mister. You win a chocolate bar.
A chocolate bar? For me? You're too kind. I look into Dina's bucket and pull out one of the topmost chocolate bars.
For you! Happy Halloween!
And happy Halloween to you too, young lady. Now then, may I please hear you say trick or treat while showing me your ticket?
Oh, yes, that sounds like fun.
Dina looks towards her mother with anticipation.
Mama, may I please have our tickets to show the nice man?
Of course, here you go. She takes out 2 train tickets from her purse and hands them to Dina.
Thank you, Mama.
Dina looks at me with an eager expression in her eyes.
Here you go, mister. Trick or treat.
I laugh alongside Dina and gently take the tickets from her hands. My watchful eye examines them closely. 1 ticket for Dina Moore, check. 1 ticket for Ashley Moore, check. Alright, you 2 are all set. I gave the tickets back to Dina. Have a good trip and have a happy Halloween.
Thank you, mister. Happy Halloween.
Thank you for indulging my daughter, sir. That was very nice of you. Of course, it's my pleasure. I smile and wave them goodbye before going to check on the other passengers. I notice the rude fellow from earlier. Might as well get him out of the way now. Excuse me, sir. May I see your ticket? Yup. He reaches into his suit pocket, whips out his train ticket, and practically shoves it in my face. I snatch it from his grasp. Yeah, equally petty. Let's see here. I mumble to myself as my watchful eye glances over his ticket. Unfortunately, it's legitimate. I wouldn't mind throwing him off the train. 1 ticket for Lewin Smith, check. All set, thank you, sir. The man named Lewin doesn't even respond to me. He's too focused on his laptop. I sigh and slide the ticket onto his keyboard between his fingers. Oi, watch it, you git. Sorry, sir.
You're lucky I have the most dexterous fingers known to man. I would have had your head skewered on a lamppost should you have messed up my report. Right.
My pride as a train conductor forbids me from indulging this man for any longer than necessary. I walk away and look for the next passenger. Excuse me, sir. May I see your ticket? Yes, one moment, please. He awkwardly shifts his fingers around his pocket and fishes out a folded up piece of junk. I raise my eyebrow. This is your ticket, correct? It is. Sorry. Not a problem. He hands it over to me. I spend a solid chunk of time trying to figure out how to unfold the damn thing. How did it get like this? The man only had this ticket for at least 5 minutes. Thankfully, unfolding it became easier after I got the first 3 folds out of the way. Sure enough, it's the same ticket I gave him. My watchful eye examines it, making sure to delete any of the creases from my memory. 1 ticket for Heath Underwood, check. You're all good. We hope you enjoy your trip. Thank you very much. As soon as I hand him the ticket back, he resumes meticulously folding it into a tiny square. His once awkward expression seemed to vanish in the wind as he entered his own little world. I leave him to it and look for the last passenger. Here he is. Excuse me, sir. May I see your ticket? I'm not sure if he heard me. Let's try that again, but louder this time. Hello, sir. May I see your ticket, please? Oh, you startled me. I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. It's okay. My ticket, right. Here you go. He pulls it out from between his book's pages. Guess he's using it as a bookmark. Correct. I take it from him and work my watchful eye for hopefully the last time today. 1 ticket for Reed Herring. Check. You're all set. We hope you enjoy your trip. Perfect, thank you. It's my pleasure. Now that all the passengers have been accounted for, I head back to the front cabin. Ooh, the piano keys. I'm back. Welcome back. How'd it go? Not too shabby. The passengers seem interesting enough, but there's so few of them. That's a shame. I wish more people would ride trains these days. Tell me about it.
I'm sure they do on other coaches, if only we were big enough to compete.
Right. Sure, we'd have more annoying customers to deal with, but at least our jobs wouldn't be on the line. Yeah, that's a huge concern for me too. I don't know if I can pay rent if I get axed. Corporate definitely hates the fact that we're barely scraping by. Any minor incident and that'll be the end of this train.
Well, at least that won't be my problem after today.
Yeah, glow in our face. Yeah, you and your retirement fund, your 401k, your social security check. Yeah. Can it, old man? Don't make me retract your retirement. Good luck with that. I'll fly away with my excess money, and you won't be able to catch me without a stable income. You underestimate me, Godric. I'll derail this train and chase you down to the ends of the earth. Elfried laughs at our banter. At least she finds this amusing. Anyways, in all seriousness, I find it ridiculous people aren't embracing trains like they used to. Why is that? You know how tech companies are trying to perfect self-driving cars?
I'm aware. It sends shivers down these old bones of mine.
Okay, so let's think about what a self-driving car is for a second. It's a box that takes you from one place to another without you having to drive it. Right? Doesn't that sound awfully familiar to you guys? That's basically what a train is. These idiots are trying to reinvent our field of expertise.
My goodness, Ryder, you've solved it. Let's call up those big corporations and get you to invent these so-called trains.
I'm being serious, Godric. If trains had the same respect they did back in the 60s, this whole self-driving car nonsense wouldn't be considered. He's got a point, you know.
I know. The problem is that the general public doesn't care about trains anymore. They really should. Oh wait, Godric, before I forget. What is it, Ryder? It's your turn to keep an eye on the passengers. You were just saying that because it's my last day. Shame on you for working an old man to death. I'm being serious. I had to watch a singular old lady knit for 5 hours yesterday. Don't you remember? Or maybe you forgot. Age not being kind to your brain, Godric? Godric howls with laughter as I sarcastically boss him around. Even I'm not that forgetful yet. Don't worry, I'll go do my job. Thank you for your service. Don't mention it, Ryder. Man, I'm going to miss you and Elfried. Godric waves us goodbye as he exits the front cabin. It'll definitely be lonelier for me once he's gone. Hearing you two joke around up here makes my job a lot more fun. Oh, don't give me that attitude, Ryder. You know you'll miss Godric too. I'll think about it. Alright, let's see. One man typing something on his computer, a mother with her daughter, some nerd with a book. Yeah, his inner monologue just sounds like a normal guy instead of an old man, because I can't keep doing that old man voice for a really long time. And another nerd walking around with a book in his hand. Should be an easy shift. Why must my dexterous fingers betray me today of all days? This report is due at 8 p.m. on the dot. Angry loud tapping noises escalate from this man's keyboard. I am the greatest banker this city has ever seen. If anyone finds out that I make a typo in every other sentence, my reputation would be... That's so funny. My reputation would be in shambles. This man glares at the other bookworm. Excuse me, sir. What seems to be the problem? This marks the 6th time you've entered the corner of my eye. Is there something you need from me? Oh, not at all. I'm sorry for the intrusion. Well then, what could you possibly be after? I'm taking notes on the train's interior. It's necessary for the autobiography I'm working on. An autobiography? You? Huh, you're far too young to be worrying about trifling matters such as that. That may be, but it's my dream to write the greatest autobiography. I need to take consistent notes about my life in order to weave the most entertaining narrative I can. Such a foolish, narcissistic dream. Oh, don't be like that. Excuse me, but you shouldn't stomp all over someone's dream like that. Oh please, it's utter rubbish. The young should focus on more material things like acquiring wealth to support their families. But working towards your dreams is best done when you have your youthful energy. If you insist. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must focus my attention on this report. I'm sorry about that. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. I really should be thanking you for standing up for me. Not many have done that before. You're welcome. I hope that autobiography thing works out. Thank you. The two men smile and nod at each other before going back to their respective duties. Dina, please don't stare at them. It's rude.
Oh, sorry, Mama. I didn't realize I was staring.
It's all right.
I just couldn't stop thinking about the Halloween festival. It's going to be so much fun, Mama.
I'm sure it will be. Just think about all the candy you're going to get.
Candy! Candy! I'm gonna go on a sugar high, Mama!
The mother laughs alongside her daughter. Looks like everyone's doing all right for now. I look out of the window to admire the scenery for the last time. I'll definitely need to schedule train rides during retirement. I can't imagine never seeing these sights ever again. Eventually I get distracted from looking out the window and I doze off. You fall asleep? You're doing your job! Oh, he might be sitting down. I think I'd also fall asleep in like a moving vehicle for that long. Excuse me, sir?
I can vaguely hear a woman's voice call to my attention. She pokes my shoulder. Sir? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Can I help you? My daughter needs to use the bathroom badly, and it's been occupied for the past 10 minutes or so. I've tried knocking multiple times, and they just wouldn't respond to me.
Is that so? That's very odd. I'll escort them out.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Don't mention it.
The two of us briskly walk towards the bathroom. Her daughter appears to be struggling. There's only one bathroom on a train? Oh, that's terrible. I mean, planes have at least 2 bathrooms.
Don't worry, little miss. I'm here to help.
Thank you, mister.
I pound my fist against the bathroom door.
Excuse me, are you still in there? If you are, please respond. We have other passengers on board who need to relieve themselves. I said, excuse me.
I pound my fist against the door harder. Even if someone was using headphones, they'd surely hear me this time. But alas, nothing. See what I mean? It's been like this every time I tried.
You two wait right here. I'm going to get the conductor. He's going to unlock the bathroom and kick this nuisance out.
Right. Thank you again for your help. I nod to the woman and run off to the front cabin. The door suddenly swings wide open.
Ryder, we've got trouble.
Trouble? What kind?
Some comedian's hiding out in our only bathroom and the kid needs to use it.
Great. Real mature of them. I'll deal with this.
Thanks, but I'm coming with you. I need to look responsible on my last day after all.
If you insist. Keep driving, Elfried. I'm just going to give them a stern talking to. Sounds good. The two of us ran straight to the bathroom door.
Conductor's here to save the day.
Thank you, mister. Please hurry.
Yes, thank you so much. Not a problem. I practically slam my fist against the door and give this delinquent one last warning. Hey, this is your conductor speaking. I'm kicking you out, so finish whatever business you have left quickly. Without waiting for a response, I whip out my master key from my suit pocket and open the door. It's the first grubby guy! What awaited us was something beyond our wildest imaginations. No, that can't be.
But how?
Is everything okay? Ashlyn must not be able to see the body from this angle. I can't afford to tell her the truth on the off chance that Dina overhears and gets traumatized. Poor guy passed out. We're going to take care of him up front. Godric, give me a hand.
Right.
Oh, I don't think we should be moving the body, but we only got one bathroom.
Ooh, we gonna get in trouble.
The two of us hoist Heath over our shoulders and carry him out of the bathroom. Yeah, wouldn't the kids see somebody with their neck open? Passed out? Really? Yeah, I can still feel his light breaths against my shoulder. I look over to Dina. Thankfully, there wasn't much blood left behind for her to notice. I'm sorry about the wait. You're free to use the bathroom.
Thank you, mister.
I don't think that's, even if she's now free to use the restroom, I don't think you should be sitting where a dead body was. She starts to run into the bathroom, but Ashlyn holds her arm briefly.
Mama?
Are you absolutely sure it's safe for my daughter to use the bathroom? Why wouldn't it be? It's just a standard toilet. We'll let you know what happened once we perform a medical examination on this man. Fine. She lets go of Dina's arm. Go on, Dina. It's okay now.
Okay.
With a hint of confusion in her voice, Dina enters the bathroom and shuts the door behind her. Godric and I quickly hoist Heath to the front cabin so as not to raise suspicion from the other passengers. Once we arrive, I aggressively kick on the door with my foot. Elfried, can you open the door? No way, you scared me. Do it yourself. Please, Elfried, I'm being serious for once. Godric and I have our hands full. There's a brief pause before Elfried answers me. What do you mean, your hands are full?
It'll be faster if you see for yourself. Please, Elfried.
Alright, I'm coming. She walks over to the cabin door and opens it. Her eyes widen upon seeing what Godric and I were carrying.
Oh my gosh, what the hell is that?
Elfried visibly flinches and quickly steps away from Godric and I. She looks like a deer in headlights. We gently put Heath's corpse on the floor, face up, and Godric shuts the door behind us.
I'm pretty sure that's a dead man. There's been a murder on this train.
No way, nuh-uh. This is just a sick, twisted joke. I mean, it's Halloween after all. This has to be a prank to scare us. I wish that was the case, Elfried. I kneel down next to Heath and get a closer look. Even from afar, you can tell he's as good as dead. Not a single light flicker behind his eyes. Clearly someone slashed his throat and stuffed it to the brim with candy corn. Oh! And who's the only person with candy? Godric can back me up on this, but when we got there, the bathroom was locked. I tried to knock and tell him that I was coming in, but I never got a response. Once I opened it, his dead body stared right at us.
That's exactly what happened. The mother and I tried knocking before you showed up, Ryder. We got the same result.
Elfried looks like she's going to throw up. I don't blame her. An awkward silence fills the air. None of us know how to proceed.
Your orders, conductor?
My brow furrows and I adjust my gloves. We need to call the police at some point, but we should make sure all the evidence is secure before we do. Oh, just wonderful. Elfried leans over and holds her stomach. I can see her focusing all her willpower not to vomit.
Would you like me to take over driving for a little, Elfried? I think you could use the rest.
Please, thank you.
Don't worry about it.
Godric and Elfried switch places. While they're doing that, I grab a piece of candy corn out of Heath's neck. Now, the real question is, where did this candy come from? Good question. Lots of stores are selling candy at this time of year. Right, the only passenger who visibly had candy on the train was Dina, but I'm sure the others have some tucked away. You're not saying... I'm not. That would be stupid. Right. Sorry. You're fine. Curious if there might be other cuts, I pull parts of Heath's clothes up. Nothing behind his shirt, jacket, and pants. Guess that means the only wound is the one on his throat. Where would they put all that blood, though? However, I noticed a piece of paper sticking out of his pocket during my search. His ticket, perhaps? I pulled it out. Sure enough, it was his ticket. But there was a letter sitting right behind it. Let's see here. I clear my throat and read its contents out loud. 8 foolish travelers board a tiny isolated train. Unbeknownst to them, all they will find is pain. The one who finds this letter and the one who died for it, I'm not aware. But what I can confirm, not one shall I spare. As the train comes to a halt, only the truth will remain. It shall be a pile of corpses, and evidence that points to a single refrain. This will be the work of the Candyman, a figure shrouded in mystery. A phantom that cannot be found, just a creature to be etched in history. Hold your loved ones close, as the light in your eyes shall dim, as there's no escape from a demise so grim. Signed most sincerely, the Candyman. Ryder, you have to stop the train! This guy is psychotic! I can see the terror behind Elfried's eyes, and I can feel it just as clearly. Whoever this Candyman is, we know he's willing to kill at least one person, meaning we're all in danger. What should I do? Stop the train, don't stop the train. Let's stop the train. Yeah, we need to stop this crazy ride before it gets too late. Godric, slow us down and bring us to a complete halt. Slowing down, sir. We'll be stopped smoothly in a moment. Elfried, call the police and tell them that there's been a murder. Ask Godric for the details if you need them, but I'll be explaining the situation to the passengers. Got it! I nod and run towards the passenger cart. Once I arrive, I tell the passengers as much of the truth as I'm aware of. You're telling us that someone's been killed? Simply outrageous. What scum would do such a thing? Ashlyn is too busy consoling Dina to respond appropriately to me.
Mama, what's going on? What's the nice man talking about?
I'll explain it to you later, sweetie. Just know that Mama's got you and no one's going to hurt you. Yes, it's truly a terrible tragedy, and I feel incredibly ashamed that I let one of my passengers die a meaningless death. All of us will need to talk to the police about what we've witnessed here today. Don't worry, I will personally refund all of your tickets, plus give you enough money for a new ticket back home. I normally don't like having my time wasted, however, I'll do whatever I can to help. You can count on us, conductor. We'll tell them everything we know. It must be done. After a short period of time, the train comes to a stop, and the doors open up. Alright, everyone will follow behind us in a single file line as we exit. Then we'll wait for the police to arrive. Does everyone understand? All the passengers nod their head, and we walk outside. And so the police eventually arrive in a helicopter and escorted us all to the station. A helicopter? In the train tunnels? Or maybe we're over the city. Forensics got a hold of Heath's corpse and reluctantly accepted our explanation for why the crime scene was disturbed. Yeah, I knew you guys would get in trouble for that one. I'll probably have to pay some sort of fine as the conductor, but I don't mind. Despite all of their efforts, the police were unable to connect Heath's murder to a suspect. There were no fingerprints on the corpse, none of the passengers had any blood on their clothes, and the Candyman's letter was typed out and printed, meaning a handwriting analysis could not be performed. Not only that, but a murder weapon that matches the killing wound was not found among our possessions. Due to lack of evidence and the bizarre nature of the murder, the police were forced to rule Heath's death a suicide. A suicide? Nah, incompetent. How would he shove candy corn in his gaping wound after he sliced his throat open and dispatch of all the blood? Police force sucks. Elfried, Godric, and I were immediately sent home. The three of us took the train home in absolute silence. As for the other passengers, I'm not sure. After I refunded their tickets and gave them extra for a return trip on the main railway, I never saw them again. The end. Don't stop the train. Elfried, stopping this train is the one thing I cannot do. Ryder, this is a terrible time to be joking around. Just listen to me for a second. Heath was found in a locked room with nobody else there apart from himself. If you were the police and you stumbled upon a dead man in that scenario, what would you do? Well, I'll tell you what you would do. You'd assume that the man killed himself. So what? I hold the haunting letter from our mysterious Candyman right in Elfried's face. A suicidal man would not leave this behind. This is clearly a murder case, but the police will sweep it under the rug if we stop the train now. I still completely disagree with you. Our priorities are to stop this train at once to keep our passengers safe. If you won't do it, then I will. Elfried, don't. If you do that, then we'll be in even more danger. How? Heath was murdered. Let's get that out of the way. Reread the contents of the letter and tell me what you think would happen if we suddenly stop the train. I hand the letter over to a clearly panicked Elfried, and she swipes it from my hands. In particular, the lines, "Not one shall I spare," and "As there is no escape from a demise so grim." You're not implying... I most certainly am.
Judging by the way the letter was phrased, this Candyman is incredibly confident and meticulous. We would not receive this letter if he was a mere lunatic that wanted to kill as quickly as possible. Listen to me, Elfried. This letter must be an open invitation for us to catch the Candyman. He thinks this is all just a game. Ryder. Not only that, but don't you find it odd that he typed this letter instead of handwriting it? Well, yeah, that's clearly odd. As you and Godric are well aware, we don't carry a printer on this train. That begs the question, how did this letter appear in the first place? There can only be one answer! You're right, the Candyman printed it out in advance before boarding the train. Now, if we're to believe that he intends to kill all of us, then I'd wager that he has hidden other letters printed out for each of us. He probably does. Look at the first line. The Candyman knew that there was going to be 8 of us on today's train ride. I look at the first line of the letter again. Sure enough, 8 foolish travelers board a tiny, isolated train. Yeah, that's just great. How did he even get a hold of that knowledge in advance? Elfried, I hate to bring this up now of all times, but there's a chance that the 3 of us get sacked so the station doesn't look bad to shareholders. There's not a chance, Ryder. We should assume that that's exactly what'll happen to us. Does this mean we have no choice but to solve this murder? Yeah, we have to solve this before we stop at the first station. And if someone else dies? Nobody else is going to die. As long as this train keeps moving, the Candyman can't escape. Okay, so based off of the first ending we got, this isn't a prank because immediately my head was thinking of that one episode of Adventure Time where Jake does like a murder mystery for Finn on a train. He's got to figure out who done it. But the police in the first ending did see a corpse, but they did not find any leads. Even though the letter says he's going to kill us all, the less people that remain means the less suspects we'll have to sift through. No matter how smart he is, he can't hide forever on a train this tiny. What if he's not one of the passengers and he's just someone who is hiding on one of the other train cars? Right. I'm going to tell the other passengers what's going on. They'll be less likely to revolt if we tell them we're getting everything ready before calling the cops. Do you mind coming with me, Elfried? That Dina is just a little girl. I'd rather not tell her the news before her mother gets a chance to. Of course, Ryder. That's no problem at all. Thank you so much. Godric, are you okay with driving the train for a bit longer? Yup. You two do what you gotta. Thanks, Godric. We'll be back. Elfried and I arrive in the passenger cart. The atmosphere feels a lot heavier than usual. Lewin over there is reading some sort of book. Reed is staring out the window while writing some things down in a notebook. And the mother and daughter duo are happily chatting amongst themselves. Staring at the 4 of them makes me feel uneasy. There aren't many spots on the train you can sneak onto and hide. It's far too small. Even if you somehow got onto the roof, you would need to anchor yourself so you didn't fall off. Godric didn't mention anything unusual during his morning routine, meaning no one was holding on to the train before we arrived. Okay, so they kind of answered my hypothesis about a secret 9th passenger, but Godric did fall asleep on the job, so maybe someone snuck on while he was asleep. But I feel like the other passengers would have noticed, right? With all those facts established, this means that the Candyman must be someone on this train. Ryder? Sorry. I'm doing okay. I feel like the Candyman name may be a little misleading. So it's actually one of the ladies. But if it isn't one of the ladies, I think it's the red jumpsuit guy. Because I feel like the angry businessman is a little too angry. Like he's a red herring. I clear my throat. I know it's tough, but this is the path you've chosen. I'm well aware. Let's go. Elfried and I walk over to where Dina and her mother are sitting. Hello, Dina and Miss Moore. How are you doing?
I'm alright, conductor.
I'm just so excited for Halloween, mister. The festival Mama and I are going to will be so much fun.
Is that so? Well, I'm glad you two are feeling swell. I can feel my nerves get sucker punched as Dina hits me with a truly innocent remark. I have no idea what to say next. Hey Dina, Ryder over here told me all about your super special candy stash.
He did? I keep it all here in this precious protective bucket. No thief can ever swipe my candies.
Wow, that's quite the collection you have there. Do you mind if I take you to the front cabin so I can see what you have? I could even tell you what sort of treats you need to look out for during the festival. Special treats you might not have in your bucket. Hey, wait a second.
I'd love to. That sounds like so much fun. Mama, can I go with a nice lady? Pretty, please?
Ashlyn looks over at me in complete disbelief. I solemnly nod in her direction. There's also something I need to talk to you about, Miss Moore. I notice her expression relax. I believe she caught on to what I was hinting at. Alright, Dina. You can have fun with the nice lady.
Thank you so much, Mama!
Come on. I want to hear all about it.
Okay.
Dina giggles and skips to the front cabin with Elfried, leaving me alone with Ashlyn. Is this about what I think it's about, conductor? I'm afraid so, ma'am. The man we brought back from the bathroom, Heath Underwood, was murdered. We're going to call the police, however, we need as much information to report before we do. With all due respect, conductor, but you're going beyond your pay grade. Getting information is the police's job, not yours. I'm well aware, but calling the police now would mean the murderer can escape without us noticing. Having Heath's death be in vain is completely out of the question. So you're saying I have to share a train cart with a murderer? I understand that it's less than ideal, but I'm begging you. I don't want this murderer to get away with it. You and all the other passengers will be refunded and compensated for your time. And I understand your desire to catch this criminal, but I don't want to put my daughter in danger. Your daughter will be safe. I promise that I won't let him lay a finger on your daughter. Not only that, but I promise that all the other passengers will be safe. All right, I'll play along. For now. Thank you so much, Miss Moore. Could you tell me what you and your daughter were doing before she had to use the restroom? Ooh, music shift! Yes, before she had to go, we were sitting here the whole time. I had to stop Dina from staring at those two men bickering because it's rude. She points to Reed and Lewin. Right, that is very rude. I'll make sure to confirm that with them. Let's see, let's make a note of that. Is there anything else of note you noticed? Nope, it was pretty normal up until now. I see. Thank you for your input. You're welcome. I get up and walk over to the next passenger. I talk to Reed first. I feel like going straight to Lewin will give me a headache. Without excusing myself, I sit down in the seat right next to him. Hello there, enjoying the ride? Ah, conductor. I don't know why, but this face he's making is a little funny to me. Ah, conductor, I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting you to be joining me. Normally I wouldn't, however, something's come up that I should inform you about. Without mincing my words, I tell Reed everything about Heath that I told Ashlyn. Unsurprisingly, the man is incredibly uncomfortable by this conversation. Say, do you know how long we've been on this train? A few more hours to go, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm really sorry, conductor, but I feel like I'm in harm's way right now. You're not. I'm your conductor. It is my responsibility to keep you safe from the murderer. But this freak kills people. You won't be able to protect us. Listen to me, Reed. The murderer killed Heath in the bathroom, which was locked. So what? This means he can't kill us out in the open. As long as we all stick together, we're safe. What's all this killing us talk I keep hearing about? I've been listening to you two ramble on and on about a murderer, and yet I am flabbergasted at this conductor's inability to stop the train. Even if we're not isolated at this very moment, what's stopping him from just attacking the three of us right now? I completely agree. This is outrageous. First of all, we have a numbers advantage. We're 3 adult men. With our combined strength, we can restrain anyone. Plus, we won't get attacked in the first place if we put our heads together and figure out who's behind this. As soon as we do, we can restrain him, and one of my staff will call the police. I suppose you have a point. Good. I'm glad we're on the same page. I breathe a sigh of relief. Now then, may you please tell me what you were doing after I checked your tickets? There's not much to do on the train. All I've been doing is sketching its interior in my notebook. You've been doing what now? I know it sounds stupid, but it's the truth. We had a little spout about it earlier. I see. That must have been what Dina was staring at. And you, Lewin? First of all, it's Mr. Lewin to you. Note taken. Second of all, I was typing up a money report on my laptop. I'm a banker of the finest caliber. Yes, I can remember the report clear as day. One of my clients was having issues with the stock market. And who can blame him? It's as fickle as my ex-wife. Just when you think you're in the clear, it remembers some stupid, insignificant blemish on your past and pounces like a lioness. Bam! You lost a good chunk of revenue, and you have to keep holding on for dear life. That's very tragic, Mr. Lewin. Reed, do you mind showing me the sketch you made of the train? I'd be happy to. It's only the passenger cart, though. That's fine. Reed nods and flips through his notebook. Here it is. Oh wow, this is incredible. You even marked down where everyone was sitting. Mom, kid, brunette, blonde, me, door, 2, door. Okay, I was about to say, aren't you the brunette? But then I remembered the guy who died was also a brunette. Wow, this is incredible. You even marked down where everyone's sitting. Thank you, conductor. I'm glad it gets your seal of approval. I need it to be as accurate as possible for when I write my autobiography. Your autobiography? Yeah, I've been making carefully detailed notes about my life, so that when I'm an old man, I'll be able to publish the world's greatest autobiography. Not only is it my dream passion project, it's also what keeps me motivated to write. It's also the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Oh, come on. We've been over this already. I know. I just wanted to poke the boar a little. Off topic, but where did the kid in the alien costume go? Oh, you mean Dina? I had her go off with my engineer, Elfried, so she didn't have to hear us adults talk about death and murder. Good call. No kid should have to deal with that burden. Wait, conductor? Those two shouldn't be on their own. They could be in danger. I mean, Godric's driving the train, so he can help them out in a pinch. Assuming they made it to him in the first place. Yeah, right. There's no way Elfried's the murderer. At least I hope she's not. She couldn't have killed Heath. Elfried's been driving the train the whole time, so she couldn't have snuck off to the bathroom to kill him. Not that she could have entered it in the first place. The door was locked. Wait. No, that can't be the trick, can it? If Elfried was able to set up a hidden trap for Heath in advance, then she wouldn't have needed to enter the bathroom in the first place. A trap even Godric couldn't find. But how could someone set up a trap that not only slits your throat, but also stuffs your throat with candy corn? Razor blades in the candy. I suddenly stand up from my seat with terror in my eyes as my brain comes to a horrifying realization. Elfried's an engineer. Even if I can't think of a solution, that doesn't mean she couldn't have. Everyone, remain seated and do not move a muscle. I bark my orders with all the gusto in my voice and run off to the front cabin. Once I arrive at the door, I yank it open as hard as I can. What I saw surprised me to my very core. No, don't let it be something funny like the girl and Alfred are fighting over candy. Oh, thank goodness. And also made me incredibly relieved.
You're so knowledgeable, miss. I had no idea there were so many different types of caramel.
Oh, thank you, Dina. You're such a good listener for remembering them all.
Mama says I'm a very good listener, too. Whenever I do a good job listening, Mama gives me a piece of peppermint as a tasty treat.
That's awesome. I wish my mom was as cool as yours.
Well, Mama is the best mama ever, so good luck with that.
No fair. Come on, Dina. Surely your mama can give mine some pointers. Despite today being a complete train wreck, it's moments like these that when I remember why I love this job in the first place. Having fun, you two? I gently interject, waving hello at Dina. She returns it with a huge grin on her face.
I sure am, mister. Miss told me lots and lots about candy that I didn't know. Did you know that there's some caramel with fruit in them, mister?
What? Are there? I hadn't a clue.
Uh-huh. There's one with apple, cherry, and strawberry inside.
That sounds delicious. I'd love to try them someday.
Me too. I'm going to see if Halloween Festival has any.
I wish you the best of luck. I'm sorry to rain on your parade, but I'm afraid I need Miss Elfried's help running this train.
Oh, man.
Don't be sad, Dina. There's going to be other times for us to play during the ride.
Yay! Thank you, miss.
You're welcome. Now, let's get back to your mama.
Okay.
The three of us exit the gangway and head straight back to Ashlyn's seat. She was smiling happily as her daughter returned in one piece. Welcome back, Dina. Did you have fun with the nice lady?
I sure did, Mama. She taught me so much about different candies.
Did she now? Did you remember to thank her?
Yes, Mama. I thanked the nice lady for all the fun we had.
Good girl. Ashlyn pets the top of Dina's alien costume as she returns her gratitude to Elfried. Thank you very much for looking after my daughter. I really appreciate it. It's my pleasure. Your daughter is so polite and well-behaved. You're too kind. What's your name? It's Elfried, ma'am. Nice to meet you. I'm Ashlyn. The pleasure's all mine. The two ladies shake hands.
And one of them had a hand that was laced with fentanyl, and the other one will start frothing from the mouth in about 30 seconds.
Excuse me, Miss Moore, but did anyone happen to leave their seats while I was gone? Nope, the two men and I stayed perfectly still. Perfect, thank you so much. You're welcome, and feel free to call me Ashlyn too. Will do, Ashlyn. Elfried and I have some work to attend to, so I'll leave you with your daughter. Of course. Thank you, conductor. Thank you. We'll need it. I nod my head to Ashlyn, whereas Elfried waves her and Dina goodbye. Afterwards, the two of us return to the front cabin. We're back, Godric.
Glad to see the two of you weren't devoured by the Candyman while I was gone.
Oh, shush. I'll force you to drive this train all the way to the station if you're going to be like this.
Sorry. Guess it's not good to make jokes about these sorts of things.
Not at all, especially if you value retirement.
Alright, I yield. No more jokes from me today.
In all seriousness, I'm going to take over the driver's seat. Thanks for the helping hand, Godric.
Don't worry about it. Piece of cake.
So, Godric, I got a few things I need to clear up about the passengers.
What's up?
Was the blonde-haired man typing something on his computer while the man in the red tracksuit was sketching the train?
The blonde-haired man was most certainly typing something up. As for the man in the red tracksuit, I didn't see what he was working on, but he was using his notebook while walking up and down the aisle.
Alright, that clears up their alibis. What about the mother and her daughter? Did they remain in their seats the whole time?
I hate to admit it, but I never saw the part where they got up to use the bathroom. I only knew they went when the mother asked me to come check on Heath.
Why did it take you that long to notice?
Dozed off by mistake. Sorry, Ryder.
I'm holding back the urge to berate Godric for his insolence.
However, the daughter couldn't have done much in the state I found her. She really needed to go.
Fair enough, I guess. This does mean that their alibis aren't as solid as the other two's. Is it possible for them to have gamed the lock?
Not that I'm aware of. It's a sliding lock, so not many people would be used to one.
But something tells me that our mysterious Candyman would have known what type of lock our bathroom uses, just like he knew how many people would be on board the train that day. If it's possible, then they're both highly suspicious. Oh, come on. Dina wouldn't hurt a fly. Dina certainly wouldn't, but Ashlyn's a different story. She doesn't have Dina's childlike wonder and whimsy. Either way, we need to keep an eye on them. Godric, I want you to get the cleaning supplies and start sweeping the passenger cart. Be sure to listen in and report anything suspicious you see or hear.
Aye, aye, sir.
His large, rotund body stumbles his way over to the supply cabinet. He pulls out a broom and dustpan before closing it and waddling off to the front cabin. As for you, Elfried, keep driving the train. I'm going to stay behind and make sure the Candyman doesn't pick you off while you're alone.
Sounds good, Ryder. Hum-de-hum-dum-dum-de-dum-dum.
I hum a gentle tune to myself as I innocently sweep tiny specks of dust off the floor. Little do the other passengers know, my ears are peeled wide open. Not one murmured secret would go undetected.
Hello.
Oh, hello, little lady. Please, don't mind me. I'm sweeping up some dust.
Okay.
I reach underneath their seats and sweep up some empty candy wrappers and dust bunnies. The little girl's alien costume keeps leering at me. Come on, Dina, let the man work in peace.
Sorry, Mama.
Oh, it's alright. I was just finishing up.
Entirely because there was nothing of note behind their seats. All they had brought on board was a jack-o'-lantern shaped bucket and a purse. Without uttering another word, I moved on to the next seat. It may be vacant, but there's a good chance our Candyman might have some trinkets lying around. Sadly, I keep sweeping beneath seat after seat without uncovering a single clue. This man's seat is no different. He doesn't even acknowledge my presence as I sweep beneath his chair. A cacophony of vulgar, grumbling noises can be heard from his mouth as he angrily types away on that laptop of his. Like the mother and daughter before him, the only thing he has is his luggage, a large silver briefcase. Eventually, I make my way towards the last passenger who's still alive. He doesn't acknowledge me, but he does move his legs out of the way so I can reach underneath his seat easier. I give him a gentle smile as my broom removes all of the dust from beneath his seat. The only noteworthy thing that he has on his person is his backpack. As I finish up, I sweep underneath the remaining seats. There's one vacant seat with a backpack underneath it. However, I imagine it belonged to the now deceased Heath. I'll be sure to mention it to Ryder after I'm done here. But there's one last place I haven't checked out yet. I know I'm not supposed to go through a crime scene, but Ryder did tell me to report anything suspicious that I saw. Plus, we already tampered with the crime scene by moving Heath's body to the front cabin. Nobody's gonna mind if I take a brief glance. I walk over to the bathroom, go inside, and lock the door behind me. This place has a heavier atmosphere than usual. Must be the lingering spirit of Heath watching over me. Still, this place is a bit too spick and span for being a murder scene. What's up with that? I sweep up whatever dust particles I can't see on the floor to see if that reveals something new Ryder and I didn't catch on a quick glance. Apart from the odd piece of toilet paper, I didn't pick up on anything special. Something is sort of off about this bathroom, especially with that locked room trick. I look back towards the door to see if there's been some sort of modification to the latch. Nope, it flicks open and shut like it's supposed to. Feeling my paranoia rise like a baked loaf, I begin to meticulously inspect each nook and cranny of the bathroom. Trash can's got a couple wet paper towels in it, but that's definitely from somebody washing their hands. Probably that Dina girl if I had to guess.
but I cannot shake the feeling that I'm missing something important. If Heath truly was killed in a locked bathroom, then there must be something left behind that proves it. My search continues, until I find something completely unexpected. Ooh. Of course, it was staring me in the face the whole time. This must be how Heath died in the locked bathroom. No time to waste, I tell Ryder as soon as possible. I unlock the door and sprint out of it. This letter's a real pain to work out, Elfried. I think it's supposed to be. The Candyman isn't going to leave the easiest clues behind, you know. Well, yeah, but that doesn't make it any less frustrating. The whole thing reads like some drunkard at a pub slam poetry night. I get that he wants to kill us all, but why? I don't think I've done anything horrible enough to provoke someone that badly. You got some shady criminal past you don't want to tell me about, Elfried? Of course not. I've diligently lived my life as a normal girl, thank you very much. Just checking. I was thinking that the Candyman is someone we've wronged in the past. Enough to kill us all? That's a pretty nonsensical solution, Ryder. Yeah, I know. That would imply that all of us have some sort of connection to each other. Apart from the three of us and Ashlyn and Dina, this is our first time meeting. Good point. Does that mean that this is an impulse killing? I mean, you did say the Candyman is confident earlier. Do confident people go on impulse killings? They might if they know they can get away with it. But why bother with this whole letter charade in the first place? Actually, forget the letter. Why bother stuffing a perfectly mortal wound with candy corn? Even if you don't want to kill everyone all at once and operate from the shadows, leaving the letter and candy behind gives the police more evidence to incriminate you. I certainly don't think the Candyman is reckless either. He went through the trouble of typing up this letter to avoid being caught through a handwriting analysis. These two personality contradictions are getting on my nerves. Say, Elfried, you want to read the letter yourself? Maybe you could find something that I missed. Sorry, Ryder, but my eyes are peeled on the train tracks right now. You can just reread it to me if you think that'll help. Never mind. It's better for you to focus on driving this train. I'll make a fuss if I discover anything important. My watchful eye carefully scans the contents of the letter for the millionth time this day. Now that I think about it, this line in particular strikes me as odd. The one who finds this letter and the one who died for it, I am not aware. What does he mean by this? It's extremely confusing. It is? The letter was hidden in Heath's pants pocket, remember? Since it was there, I can understand why the Candyman wouldn't know who found it. But why wouldn't the Candyman know who died for it? He's the one who killed Heath. Maybe he wasn't sure which one of us to kill first? That can't be right. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made a letter for each of our names. How do you know he has a letter for each of our names? Since he ended up killing Heath first, then a letter with Heath's name should have been... My words trail off as I realize something's wrong with what I'm about to say. The Candyman definitely knows that Heath was the one who was killed first because he slid the letter into his pants pocket. However, the letter doesn't have Heath's name on it, just the number 8. Like Elfried and I established earlier, this letter was written before the train took off. If the Candyman truly figured out how many people were on the train in advance, then how did he do it without figuring out all of our names? Actually, Elfried, you might be onto something. I skimmed through the words carefully again, making sure not to miss a single detail. For someone with such a way with words, you can assume that he would start all of his sentences with letters. And yet... Ooh, let's take note! 8 foolish travelers board a tiny isolated train starts with 8's number form, not its word form. Why is that? As I stare harshly at that out-of-place character, trying to decipher its secrets, I notice something very faint around its edges. My fingers prod the edges delicately. Like a flash of lightning, I immediately realize what I'm prodding at. A sticker! What? Elfried, instead of writing out the number 8, the Candyman put a sticker in its place. Did he? I carefully peel back the sticker to avoid damaging the letter, but just enough to peek behind it. He certainly did. There's nothing behind it. But what could this mean? It means he didn't plan to have 8 people on here. He just put down a sticker for however many people boarded the train. But even so, how would he know that there are 2 people in the conductor's area? I have a theory. What if the sticker was applied after the Candyman boarded the train? I'd wager money that you can't buy a single number sticker on its own. There's gotta be a pack that contains at least 0 through 9. Since the Candyman left the spot blank initially, that means he must have left room there for a number sticker. Once he counted all the people on the train, all he would have to do is stick a number stick. Bam, 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 bam. Ah! Elfried and I feel our hearts leap out of our chests as the door leading to the front cabin is banged on. You must be in there, conductor. I need to see you immediately. The voice is loud and commanding, while also containing copious amount of fear and panic. And how do we know you're not the Candyman? What? You? Lady, where's the conductor? I need him right away. The 2 of us exchange fearful glances at each other. After a brief period of silence, the man behind the door pounds it again. Hey, don't you dare ignore me. This is an emergency. I need to see the conductor right away. I'm here. What's going on? There's been another murder on the train. What? No, this can't be possible. Everyone's been sticking together in the passenger car. There shouldn't have been a way for the Candyman to sneak in an additional kill. You're being serious, right? Of course I am. Can't you hear how frightened I am? We'll be right out. I quickly look over to Elfried. Elfried, how long can the train drive without an operator? Theoretically, until it crashes into something, but one of us needs to remain at the front to make sure that doesn't happen. Right, but I can't leave you here alone in this situation. There's a killer on the train who could easily pick you off if you're left by yourself. Alright, fine. I'll come with until we can safely get back to the front cabin. Thank you so much, Elfried. But what if the killer just goes ahead and sneaks into the front cabin, locks the door, and then crashes the train and kills everyone on board? I rush over to the front cabin's door and kick it open. Why do you need to kick open? Oh gosh! Lewin, take us to the body now. Right away. Elfried and I sprint behind Lewin as he takes us towards the corpse. Who's it gonna be? We end up right outside the bathroom door. No, not our boy. In the bathroom? No, look around the corner. It's right there. Chills run down my spine. A part of my body screams at myself to not look directly at it. But ignoring my internal warnings, I look behind the corner. No! And he just found the hint that'll crack the case on the locked bathroom door. And see something I never thought I'd see so soon. Ah! Godric! I lunge towards his body and immediately check his pulse in hope that he's still alive. Just like I thought, Godric's been killed, and by the Candyman, no less. With tears streaming down my face, I back away from his body and examine it. As my eyes gaze towards his hand, I notice there's a piece of paper folded up in it. Why is there so much blood now and not in the other dude's body? Without hesitation, I pry Godric's cold, dead fingers apart and snatch the letter from his grasp. My fingers quickly but carefully take each of the paper's folds and unravel them before my eyes. It's another letter. I skim through its contents for now. I'll read them properly later. I just need to ascertain that this was indeed the work of the Candyman. Sure enough, just like the first letter, it ends with, "Signed most sincerely, the Candyman." Oh gosh, Ryder! I can hear Elfried's voice starting to crack. Her heart has been consumed by grief and sorrow. But I must press on. I refuse to let Godric's death be in vain. Just look at all this blood. There's no way this one is a suicide. I drag one of my gloved fingers across the blood splatter against the wall. What? Godric was killed fairly recently. Ryder, are you fucking listening to me? I want to get off this train right now! I begin to open my mouth to respond to Elfried's panic, but something else catches my eye first. Oh gosh, where did Lewin go?
Huh?
Elfried picks up on it too. We both book it towards the passenger cart. Excuse me, passengers, did anyone see Lewin come this way? He's the blonde man in the gray suit.
Sorry, but I haven't.
Me neither.
Is everything okay, mister?
No, not exactly. Elfried pulls on my sleeve before I get too lost in my thoughts.
Ryder, what if he's in the bathroom and...
She doesn't need to finish that sentence. I already know exactly what she's thinking. I sprint off towards the bathroom. She follows behind me. If there's any place where Lewin could have snuck to without drawing the attention of the passengers, it's here. I let out an audible gulp before banging my fist against the door. Occupied! Oh, thank goodness, you're still alive. I breathe a heavy sigh of relief.
Why'd you up and disappear like that? We thought you were killed for a second.
Sorry, but I really had to go. Badly.
Can't stop nature's call, I guess.
That's so silly. Lewin, Elfried and I are going to wait outside until you're finished. We'll want to make sure you come out okay. Sounds good. Thank you for your concern, conductor. As we wait for Lewin to finish his business, Elfried and I stare at each other in an awkward silence. She steals glances at the bathroom, whereas I steal glances at the passenger cart. Now that the Candyman has struck again, we need to be extra vigilant towards our surroundings. After what feels like hours, the two of us breathe a sigh of relief as we hear Lewin flush the toilet. Still alive? I feel like he was disposing of evidence. Maybe I'm getting too suspicious of everyone. Still alive. I'm really sorry to be an inconvenience. Don't mention it. Did you notice anything odd while you were in there? Just someone's broom and dustpan. Thank you. Those belong to us. Do you mind recuperating with the others in the passenger cart? Yeah, that's fine. Lewin shuts the bathroom door behind himself as we walk back to the passenger cart. Once we're back, I immediately begin doing a head count of the remaining passengers. Reed, Dina, Ashlyn. And then Lewin and Elfried are right next to me. Everyone's accounted for.
Ryder, please, I'm begging you, stop this train.
I most certainly agree. Your detective charades have only gone and gotten your janitor killed. Yeah, plus I doubt you're even close to solving this thing. I'll make this simple for you, conductor. Stop the train or else I'm going to call the police. They might have a point. 2 people have died so far, and I've barely made any progress. If I stop the train, the police can't rule Heath's death as suicide due to its clear connection to Godric's. So justice might be served. What should I do? Let's stop the train. I'm not a detective. You heard Ashlyn, Elfried. Stop the train.
Yes, sir.
Elfried runs to the front cabin and starts to decelerate the train. Ashlyn called the cops. Ashlyn was already on the phone with them by the time I told her to do so. Everyone else stay put. The others nod as we wait for Ashlyn to finish up her phone call and Elfried to bring us to a stop. Once Ashlyn puts her phone away, I address the group. We're all going to need to talk to the police about what we know about the murders. All I was able to figure is that the murderer went by the Candyman and killed people by stuffing their mortal wounds with candy.
That's so terrible. Why would someone use candy for evil?
There are some cruel people in this world. I'm sorry you had to find out so soon. The others nod in agreement. Don't worry, Dina. Today is just a bad dream. Once tomorrow comes, the bad man will be no more.
Okay, Mama.
Nobody uttered another word after that. Elfried rejoins us after the train comes to a stop. All right, everyone, follow me. We're going to wait outside for the police. And so the police eventually arrive in a helicopter and escorted us all to the police station. Forensics got a hold of Heath's corpse and reluctantly accepted our explanation for why the crime scene was disturbed. I'll probably have to pay some kind of fine as the conductor, but I don't mind. Since Heath's murder was clearly linked to Godric's, thanks to the candies in the letter, the police could not rule Heath's death as suicide. However, due to lack of evidence, the police had to rule both as inconclusive. Neither corpses had fingerprints, the murder weapon went missing, and none of the passengers had any blood on their clothes. What if it was the kid? Like, she took off her alien costume and killed those people, and then came out? The remaining passengers took the main railway home. I refunded their tickets and paid for their new ones. Afterwards, I would never see them again. Elfriede and I took our train back to its station. The ride was as silent as a cemetery. Not one of us would dare think about today's incident ever again. The end. Is it that time already? I guess we'll have to continue this mystery next time. If you liked my video, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember, stay sharp and stay curious. Bye!